I'm Nikki from Written Labs, and in this tutorial, we're gonna demonstrate how to enable tool calling for an AI agent using a well-defined OpenAPI spec. Our example will use the publicly available PokéAPI, a free RESTful Pokémon data API, to create an agent that can answer questions about the Pokémon. By the end, you'll be amazed at how easily you can build an AI agent that can call real API functions just by plugging in a Swagger document. So let's dive in. First, let's create a new Agentica project using the CLI, npx Agentica start. And this will launch the Agentica as a setup wizard. And for the project name, I'll go with the Pokémon agent. And for the package manager, let's choose PNPM. For the template, I'll select Node.js with React again for easy testing with a chat interface. And I'll leave the server port to 3000. And we won't be using any connectors in this tutorial too, so let's just skip this process. You'll need a LLM API key, and I'll skip it for now and set it later. And that's it, just to give it a few seconds. The package installation and all the thing is going on, and boom, a new Agentica project is created. Now that the project folder has been created, let's open it up in our code editor. Just like in the last tutorial, we now have client and the server subfolders. Let's start by running the client application, and then we'll clean up any unnecessary boilerplate codes. So go into the client directory and run pnpm start. And this starts the application on localhost 5173. So open it in your browser and you got a chat screen. And let's go to the server directory and delete all the boilerplates, and let's start fresh. Lastly, let's set up our environment variables. So go to the env file and paste in your OpenAI API key. Now we'll set up the PokéAPI as an external tool for our agent. The key idea is to use PokéAPI's OpenAPI specification to allow the AI to call PokéAPI endpoints. So the only thing we really need is a well-documented Swagger spec. So if you search for PokéAPI on Google, you'll find their GitHub repository. There's a file called OpenAPI YML file, and it contains a detailed spec for every API endpoints. Now, to use it in our project, we need to convert that YAML file into JSON format. But that's kind of a hassle, right? So I've already done it for you. You can find the JSON version linked down into the description, so just copy it and you're good to go. I think we are basically ready, so let's jump back into the heart of our agent in src/index.ts file. This file runs a main function, and inside the main, we're opening a WebSocket server. Now, focus on what happens inside the server handler. We are creating an Agentica agent, and this is where things get exciting. Now, we have the controllers array. This is where our tool calling comes in. So here we define which tools the agent is allowed to use. And now we are going to let our agent make actual API calls to PokéAPI by adding a new controller. So let's create a new controller setup. We're gonna create a new object. First, you need to set the protocol field to be HTTP. The protocol field defines how the agent will communicate with the tool. So previously, for local classes, we used class, since the agent called class methods directly. But this time, we're gonna call the external API on a remote server, so we set it to HTTP. And for the name, you can name it anything. I'll just set it as the Pokédex service. And for the application field, this field expects the LLM function schema. But once again, there's no need for you to write the schema manually because Agentica provides a helper function called assert HTTP LLM application method from Agentica core library. This method takes two props. One is the target large language model. So in our case, it's going to be ChatGPT. And the other is the actual OpenAPI documentation. Okay, so let's import the Swagger file. First, take the Swagger document I shared earlier and save it as a file named swagger.json. Now, when you try to import that JSON file into the TypeScript code, you will probably get an error saying JSON modules cannot be imported. So to fix this, go to tsconfig.json file and set the resolve JSON module to be true. And you can see the errors are now gone. So once that's done, you can import this Swagger document like a normal module and pass it into the document field, and that's it. And lastly, we need to set the connection field. Since we are using the HTTP protocol, we also need to define the connection settings. So this includes the host, which is the base URL of the API server. So in our case, it's gonna be https PokéAPI.co. And optionally, you can also add headers like authorization or content type. Since PokéAPI doesn't require any special headers, so we'll keep that part empty. Our agent is fully set up to call any function defined in the PokéAPI Swagger document, all without writing a single line of custom API logic. Pretty cool, right? So let's go ahead and test it out. First, you need to build the server first. So let's run pnpm run build, and this will compile the TypeScript code so that we can launch the server. Yep, so now the build is done. So let's start the server by pnpm start. And the server should be up and running on port 3000, and let's check out our demo. Okay, so our Pokemon agent is ready. So let me start by asking, what can you do? So let's just ask the AI agent to tell about what it can do. And it says I can provide information about various aspects of Pokemon. All right. So maybe the next question I will ask is, tell me about the Pikachu. Well, I'm expecting to get some general information about Pikachu, but come to think of it, I don't really know much about Pikachu, so I have no way of telling if they're telling the truth, but it doesn't matter, it's not important, so let's just wait for the response. And all right, we got a response. So the Pokemon retrieved through the API is Pikachu. The Pikachu has ID of 25. And it shows the basic information about its name, ID, height, weight, abilities, forms, moves, and they even sent me the sprites with the cute Pikachu images. Yeah, I think it's quite working well, right? It's very impressive. Maybe I should ask another question. So this one is going to be a tough one. So where can I find a metapod? So basically, I'm expecting to get some location information about the metapod. I think it's taking a bit of time to generate the response, but I'll patiently wait. And boom, I think we got the answer. Let's check the answer. The function called is designed to retrieve encounter information for a specific Pokemon using its ID, well, blah, blah, blah. And it's telling me about the encounter location about the Metapod. It generally says that we can see the Metapods in Eternal Forest area, and Johto Route 30 area, and I think it is sending me the information that we have asked. Perfect. In this tutorial, we set up a working AI agent that can answer questions about Pokemon by live calling the PokéAPI. We went from zero to a functioning tool-enabled agent with minimal code, leveraging Agentica's ability to ingest an OpenAPI spec. We hope this tutorial was clear and helpful, and if you found this video helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe our channel. And if Agentica sparked your interest, drop us a star on GitHub too. So happy hacking with Agentica, and see you guys later.